the MTDCNC podcast, sponsored by Langley Alloys, unique metals for demanding applications, providing first-class performance and an international service.
Welcome to the first in a series of the MTD MACH special podcast, because what is upon us very soon, guys?
MACH!
Look at that, like we've even practiced that.
Bang on time.
Fantastic.
All
But
in sync.
first of all, I think people who don't know who we are, a quick introduction. I am Colin Griffiths. I am the operations director, so I have the joy of getting us all there, making sure all the filming is done, amongst other things, herding you lot basically in a nutshell, and a bit of presenting possibly, and hosting today's podcast to find out all about
MACH!
Look at that. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. So, introductions. Tom, who are you? What do you do?
I'm Tom. I was a machinist for 10 years doing parts for aerospace, oil and gas, medical, you name it. I probably made
Tom,
it.
come on. We need a bit of enthusiasm, mate. You're making some
Right.
aerospace.
I was a machinist.
Excellent. So you
Not
got
better.
excellent. So you're a presenter and you've got skills. You know what you're talking about when you're on camera.
Hope so.
Absolutely. Chloe, over to you.
I was a ex-applications engineer for 9 years, working with a previous employer, 5-axis machining, turning, lathe work, everything, you name it. And now I run the projects at MTD, so I don't help Colin, I actually do it, herd these guys on film jobs, and also I actually present as well. So when I have some free time, I like to go out into the field with these guys and present and find out how people are making things.
Thank you very much, Chloe. And last but not least, Mr. Rowan Easter Robinson. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I'm lucky enough to be a presenter here, working with Tom and some of the other presenters. And when Chloe can drop down from a very important job of running everything to come and join us, you know, out in the trenches. But yeah, I've been a presenter for MTD now for about 2 years. It's great. We get to go. Loads of
Time
different
served engineer
factories.
before that, so you've got the skills and knowledge.
Yeah, I spent about 7 years doing my machining apprenticeship. Went to the AMRC training college, which we're going to be talking about the AMRC in a different podcast soon. So yeah, spent a bit of time on the machines and doing a bit of software, a few other things.
There you go. Very brief introduction, guys. Thank you very much. And that just lets you know that these guys are time-served engineers. So when they're on camera and they're talking and interviewing, they know all about the technology they're talking about, or hope so. And if they don't, they should have been briefed on it. We'll come to that in the other podcast. So we'll find out about loads of people who are exhibiting at MACH 2024. But I'm going to put these guys to the test. First of all, Chloe, when is it?
Oh, it's behind me. It's the 15th to the 19th of April at the NEC in Birmingham, just off the M42.
Right, well, you stole all my questions there for this podcast. I was going to ask Tom what whereabouts is, and it might sound stupid, but people don't necessarily know where it is. So you've got to assume that we're coming in cold here. And next, how many people do you think are going to visit, or how many people will visit it, Tom?
Over 25,000 I'm going for.
Excellent.
Wow.
So the halls will be heaving with lots of people seeing latest new technology. But I say halls are heaving. How many halls are there, Rowan?
There's about 5 or 6 halls, I think.
Oh, about 5 or 6. It's either 5 or 6.
We've got a layout plan in front of us.
Do you
here.
want-
That
do you want
doesn't
my
help
layout?
us, does it, sir? That
Yeah.
doesn't help
So
us.
cheating.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halls.
There you go.
But it's all in a big L shape. It's all a big dog leg, so you don't know when you're going from hall to hall.
So it all merges into one hall, but there's essentially 5 halls of the latest technology. Why, well, Rowan, why are you excited about going to MACH?
Well, it's always an interesting thing to go to. I mean, I've been going to MACH since I started at Nick, my first employer, and we were going a few days before, going to set up rotary tables and tooling, make sure everything's oiled. And after every night, you've got to, once everyone's gone home and the hall's nice and quiet, you then have to oil all the tools that people have been touching and pointing out with their sweaty fingers, and make sure nothing degrades over those 5 days. And it's always
Make sure nothing's been stolen.
make sure nothing. Well, nothing. We've never had an issue before. I don't
Touch
know.
wood.
We'll be taking our expensive cameras as well, so we'll have to make sure we keep an eye on those. But the people of Birmingham and on the whole of the UK, the engineers are pretty trustworthy, so I think we should be okay.
But you've got the experience from the other side, not just going to the exhibition, actually being an exhibitor yourself.
Yeah, setting up takes a lot of effort, especially with these heavy rotary tables we were working on. It's not as hard as machine tools. I know that they set up weeks and weeks in advance, because they've obviously got to bring the machines in, commission them, make sure they're all working, get the compressed air in, the power and everything. So it's amazing how much an operation it is actually to get MACH up and running just for those 5 days of being open to the public.
Absolutely. And I don't think people realise, we obviously go to a lot of exhibitions, all the controlled chaos in the background. You go even on Sunday night and there's people running around, the carpets aren't, some places the carpets haven't even been put down yet. You're like, but you get in there on the Monday morning, assuming it's starting on a Monday morning, but obviously MACH is carpet's there, and it looks like a showroom.
Yeah, we've heard that Sunday night. Please get out of the hall at 9 p.m. And you're like, oh, I've still got one more thing to install, and the power gets shut off. And
but like you said, from previous employers, obviously I work for a machine tool provider. We were there weeks before, waiting for machines to come off ships that have got stuck in transit. Oh my God, it's not going to be there. This, that, and the other. We're having to take service guys off the road to service these machines. And if you think of the big plots that some people had, I think we had about probably 7 machines of all different types of, to hit different industries. You got your mills, you got your lathes, you got everything, 5-axis, robots, whatever.
Don't do all the technologies, because I'm going to quiz you on that later.
I wasn't mentioning any names, but you have to have a service engineer for each, and then you have to have the applications engineer come in, and all the raw billets of material come in. You've got to fill it with coolant. Oh my God, the floods that you saw sometimes. Good job. Sometimes I don't lay the carpet, but if you've laid the carpet, it's no longer blue, it's probably black. But things like that, getting toolboxes in and out, swarf bins. If you're creating lots of swarf, where the hell are you going to wheel it through the NEC, to drop it off? So in those sort of instances, you're planning for months in advance, and it's a big time-consuming, money-consuming job for a 5-week show.
It's a huge
a 5-week show.
Sorry, a 5-day show.
Yeah,
Getting too carried away. But yeah, it is. It's a
super
big job.
Excited though, but people don't realise what's going on in the background.
No.
It's all smooth and running nicely when you
The
get there on the
investment
Monday
is
morning for
huge.
the whole
And for
week.
some people in these big machine tool companies, their job is to run one event, then think about the next event,
Yeah.
then think about that. They're only thinking about these 5-day events kind of 6 months apart.
But
That's their whole job.
Some people as well, a small OEM company, this is massive. They need to be there. They need to get their name out there, because you could meet 2 or 3 clients along these 5 days that could change your life, that could change your business and fully put you up in the market.
Yeah.
Great to be able to go see it hands on, feel it, see machining, see all the different. I'm not going to go through all the different technology because I'll come to that later. Tom, over to you, sir. You haven't said anything for a couple of minutes. Your turn.
There's always time in there. I feel a bit shadowed by you two, because I've never actually been to MACH.
Well, hold on a minute. You've never been to MACH?
No, I've never been to MACH and worked at MACH. I've been and looked round and been to all the stands, and
You've never been paid to go to MACH.
no, not until this year, which will be cool.
So are you excited?
I am, because it'll be weird though, because normally, and I'm going to admit it, I'm one of the guys that turn up and see how much swag you can get in a day. But obviously it'd be nice to. We've done some other exhibitions, but MACH is in our own backyard, and yeah, I'm looking forward to MACH. As story you may not know, the start of my MTD journey came from talking to Paul and Joe at MACH.
The last MACH, was it?
Yes.
And then they decided to employ it. Okay.
And here we
What
are.
I was going to say, was this late in the afternoon? They'd had a couple of beers? A little bit rude.
You'd already gone.
Yeah, you've gone. That's why I didn't. That's why I got the job, because you weren't there.
Oh, good. So we have our stand, MTD stand, which we had a great stand last time, and it's going to be the same, if not better, this time. What can we see on it? Any clues, guys?
There's something big on it.
There's something big.
Something
due
big
to
on it.
a-
Oh, you're
a
looking
new
at. You're not looking at me there,
sponsor.
are you?
Well,
I'm not giving anything away, Soz.
no. I think we keep it because people need to come to MACH to see it.
Oh, okay.
But
Because I was going to
there's
say,
something going to be. There's going to be something quite.
Something
How
you don't see
big,
every
Tom?
day.
Can you give us? Is it like an elephant, a football pitch,
Oh,
or like a
How big's
table
the
football
stand?
pitch? Or
How big's the
We're
stand?
not
Like,
taking up
what
the whole
size?
NEC, Rowan.
No,
but
not all 5 or 6 halls.
No, it's going to be cool. We've got something quite big and quite good on the stand, and then we will also have.
Obviously, our proud sponsors, Fleg.
Yeah.
Let's
And
just
then-
put that out there.
We will also have a video showcasing on our stand what Fleg do.
Yeah.
so if you don't know, come to our stand to see them, find out. Okay, next question. I'm going to put Rowan to test. What's our stand number?
Oh, our stand number is. I've got it written down here. Do you mind if I?
Oh.
Have you?
Can I have a look
By
round?
the end of the
Yeah.
week, you'll know
It's
off by heart.
Hall
so-
19, stand 549.
I hope not, because
You
we're
can find it on the
542. I
MACH
thought we were
website.
542,
No,
Rowan.
549 is
Five
right.
four nine.
I stand corrected, guys. I do apologise.
We
Yeah,
did.
you
can
can
go
go
on
to
the
542 if you want, but
Yeah,
we'll all
that's
go
what-
to 549.
That's what will happen. I'll be sitting there and standing on my own.
Where's
and
the
like,
beers at?
Yeah. Okay. So, podcasts every day. We're doing them live in the afternoon, I understand. Is that
Are
correct? Yes, we are.
Fantastic.
Podcasts every day. So, people come along. If you want to come and talk to us about your technology, you're showcasing, what you've seen at MACH, come and have a chat with us. And then find out what they've seen throughout the day, because there's some great technology leading on to that. I'm going to test you what technology. I've got a whole list. I don't want to go down every single list, but technology you want to see and technology you can see at MACH. I'm going to start with Chloe, because you're having a scratch.
I was scratching my head. I love seeing 5-axis and pallet automation. I think it's becoming a big up and coming thing within the industry, having your 5-axis machine integrated with your pallet system, with the software talking all in one.
Okay, so I'm going to tick off on that one. You're milling and a little bit of automation there as well.
Yeah. Oh, so 2 in 1. Sorry.
Yeah. What's
You're
interesting
right,
about those is I think we're seeing more and more off the shelf automated, roll it up to your machine tool, bolt on systems, and they all take very different approaches. And I think there will be one. We're still exploring what the best approach is, whether you clamp each part in a single vise and then the robot just grabs the vise, or the robot grabs the part itself in like a grid plate system.
Yeah.
And I think we will find out which technology comes out on top in terms of cost effectiveness and efficiency and reliability.
I'm going to say
in the next few years.
Application specific though.
Maybe not. I'd say if you're clamping in a vise, there's obvious benefits, because you know exactly how you've clamped that part, and if the robot picks up the vise, then you're holding that part exactly.
So your 0 point system.
0 point system, yeah.
But then there's other automation as well, because it's not just robots. It's your pallet loading systems. So again, which one do you choose? Do you choose a machine with a pallet loader? Automation?
But you know what you can have? You can have a 5-axis with a pallet system with a robot loading your pallet system.
Guys,
Let's think about it.
So there's so many different options.
Yeah.
So many
and I
different
think
options. More
But
technology. I need
with that exact product, you need to see it in person
Well,
to get a feel for how
you need to.
being
The
your
thing is
work
as well,
in your
there's
shop
that many to choose from. MACH's a great place because they'll all be under one roof.
Absolutely perfect. That's exactly what we want to hear. So you need to be there to see the technology and get a feel for work out how it will tie in with your applications, with your machines you've got. Because it's not just about buying a brand new machine, although you want to buy a brand new machine, obviously. But you can get the robots, the automation to go with existing technology.
Yeah.
And to unlock the capacity.
Next bit of technology. Go on. I'm going to.
Well, Chloe beat me to the one I wanted, because I wanted 5-axis, but she beat me there. So I'm going to go for tooling. Well, the next best thing to the machine running is the tooling and the work holding, because
that's 2 tooling and work.
Sorry, I'm taking them both. Sorry,
Let's do
Rowan.
2
I'm
each.
taking them both because it's great to see how far technology in tooling has gone and how much you can push tools, where before you would think they would break, and you'll see all these demos where you're thinking that there's no way that's going to last, and it will.
And then do it again and again and again.
Exactly. And then with work holding as well, when you're holding a humongous billet on 3 mil, and all it is clamped in the serrated jaws, you're thinking as soon as you touch that, it's going to fling out, and it doesn't. So, again, work holding and tooling, it's great to see how far the technology's come, but also how far it's going to go.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've got some more questions. We're going through technology, but I want to. Engineers love to have different names for the same thing and things. And there's always different names coming out. I want to ask you a couple of things. First of all, what is the difference between turn mill and mill turn?
I think it's just it doesn't really matter. I think these are just 2 different definitions.
One's turning,
means
one's
different
milling.
things to different people. Because to me, turn mill is like an operation. You do turn milling, which is quite an odd thing. You get an M mill and on like maybe a rotary table and a milling machine, and you'll turn the rotary table. Whereas a mill turn is a style of machine tool. So I don't know. To me, it's just. I think it means different things to different people.
Yeah, there you go. So if you want to, if you've got so many thoughts, bit vague, but if you've got any thoughts on that,
let us know.
Put your comments. Let us know, please. Absolutely, we're open to being
Criticised.
Criticised, not the right word. Educated, absolutely.
Constructive
all right.
criticism.
Next one, I'm going to go to Chloe. Your turn.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Lubrication.
Oh, hello. So, right.
Basically your
Very
oils,
important.
your coolants, lubricating tools, lubricating parts. If you're running a machine without the specialist lubrication or the correct lubrication, you're damaging your machine tool, you're damaging your tool, you're damaging your work holding. Buy some lubrication.
There you
And
go.
it's important. I mean,
It's a very big
often
thing.
overlooked part of your machine shop.
And clean your lubrication, test your lubrication. We've gone into, all of us, smelly workshops, haven't you? And brown lubrication. Maybe you haven't cleaned it out, you haven't done this, done that, but lubrication is very clever. It's very effective, and it's very advanced, and people don't understand the advanced and the what it can do for
But that
you.
affects your tooling,
Everything.
your tool life, your surface finish, everything like that. Okay.
And your machine, because if you don't have the correct pH, is it like a pH
Yeah.
balance? It can it can make your table go rusty. It can make your spindle lines go rusty. So if your spindle goes, oh well, I don't know what it is. Check your coolant.
But then
Okay.
isn't there? I'm sorry, I'm jumping in. But isn't there different? The other thing as well is knowing the right lubrication for the machine you have.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you've got a sliding head machine, you're going to want
Oil.
But then if
And a
you're
fire
looking-
extinguisher, sorry. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you won't need a fire
Well,
extinguisher, but
hopefully
you need
you
one
won't.
there.
On hand.
Well,
on
fire
hand.
control-
Definitely have one.
Fire control system.
And then obviously you've got your coolant for your VMCs.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's a very broad
That's a
statement. Again, you need to go and
wide,
speak to these guys. So we've got that. What about other technology? So you've got your milling. We haven't really mentioned turning. That's it. That's all I've got. Turning.
Yeah, turning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fixed
interesting.
head,
So if
sliding
you-
head.
If you're in the market for a lathe, you want a lathe,
Yeah.
you can go check out the
Multi-spindle.
turning section.
2 axis, 3 axis, sliding head, fixed head. So many.
Multi-spindle, gantry loaded, robot loaded.
I think
swirl
people
conveyor-
might be
conveyor.
surprised that there's a lot of parts you can do, a lot of square parts people might be able to do on lathes nowadays.
And
We've
extrusions.
seen applications on like Belio style machines, or I mean, there's others available like the Mianos, Murotex.
Well, the thing as well, like the Miano, is it comes with high torque on your live tooling. So if we think about it, live tooling was like just chamfering a bit or
yeah,
drilling a
small
hole.
Drilling
milling
a hole.
operations,
It was
simple milling
pocket.
operations.
There wasn't much torque behind it. You could only do simple things.
Just look at you three, just reminiscing. Like, oh
Love it.
yeah. nice,
but
nice.
now some machines with live tooling have the same torque as an actual VMC machine.
I don't know what I'm going to say.
You're
Sorry.
so
But the technology,
shocked.
like people, this is why you come to MACH to see the technology to go, oh my God, I've never seen that before. It's been around for 10 years, but just nobody's took an interest into it. And for MACH to be here and for our customers and other customers to showcase, to get to the people, you need the right people coming
Quiz
to
the
MACH.
specialist. They're there on hand.
Oh, yeah.
Put them
Ask
to the
them.
test.
It's a
Ask
chance to
them.
get creative.
Don't
If
ask
you-
me,
if you
ask them.
think There's only one way to make a part you've got.
Guys, I'm
Go
aware,
to
I'm
Mac,
aware
so-
that time is running on, so I want some quick
I'm
technology.
loving this
Some more
podcast.
technologies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Tom. Another technology quickly.
Tool holders. We've spoke about tooling. We've spoke about
We spoke
machines.
about tooling.
I love tooling. Honestly, it is. Yeah.
Tom the Tool. That's all I'm going to say. A little bit harsh there. Chloe, next. Go on. Oh, this will be a first, guys. Stuck for words. I'm going to give you a clue.
Go on,
Lasers.
give me- Lasers, metrology.
Hey?
Oh,
Oh, yes.
It's word association.
That ties in very nicely.
We have
'cause you've got-
lasers with metrology.
Absolutely, yeah. You're scanning them. So
Scanning
you've got
them.
laser cutters.
You're thinking
and like
laser-
CMM machines, checking equipment, as my granddad used to say, checking equipment, checking your tolerances, checking. Lots of people don't know. This might be off on a different tangent, but some machines can check measurements. So we have probes and things now that you can have added onto your machine that can basically check the circumference of your diameter. If it's basically 0.5 out and you need to take off more material, the machine will tell itself, right, this is oversized, I need to turn it down, without even telling. Obviously it will tell the programmer this is what I've done, but it doesn't need the programmer to take 15 minutes out of his day
in
to
cycle.
go and program it and do it again. It will do it automatically.
Okay, right. It was only supposed to be brief, Chloe, but thank you for that anyway. Right, again, wary that time is running on. So, any more from you, Rowan?
Yeah, I think there's a huge market and a huge opportunity in digital software, in
Correct.
When you say
software for
digital software-
manufacturing, or it's just software for manufacturing. In terms of, you guys all right? Is that-
Sorry,
you allergic
yeah.
to software or something?
I love software.
Love it. When it comes to stock control, job planning, scheduling, maybe it's not the sexiest. It's not big fancy machine moving 100 miles an hour, but it's really important. Can unlock a lot of hidden capacity in your machine shop and keep track of parts better and help to make sure your machines are running.
So,
as
digitization
good
of the whole machine shop, essentially.
digitization of the machine shop. Yeah, I mean that would encompass a lot of things, but even just having a job scheduling system that you can use rather than just an Excel sheet or a piece of paper.
He's the best person to talk to.
Yeah.
probably,
Maybe not
about
me.
this.
No, not
Could
me.
CAD
No, there's a lot
CAD
more
cam
experts
possibly?
than Mac. CAD cam as well is really important. Yeah. So yeah,
Of course,
absolutely.
yeah.
CAD cam.
CAD cam as well. Sorry, I'm just going to interject with a little story here. We've just visited a place recently who went to they've been having trouble with their post processors. They couldn't get the machine to work. The supplier couldn't get it to work either. They were having a bit of back and forth. Went to a show and saw that the machine they had was on a stand running CAD-CAM. The week later, went and bought that CAD-CAM because he'd seen it running on the machine.
And that's the thing. We need these shows to be able to see, oh, well, they're first doing it, and I've got exactly the same. Why can't I do it?
Yeah,
You
go
know,
and ask
unlocking.
technical questions.
I'm getting a vibe here. You need to be going to the show.
Really?
When is it running?
When is it?
15th to 19th of April at the NEC.
Right off the
M42.
Wadham.
Hey.
Oh, you
But
better
there are
read the test
there are
now.
roadworks, so please plan your trip. Trains are
It's
available.
quite difficult to get there from the north.
it's
I've been round like 3-4 times. I
From
missed the turning so many times.
I'm not sure that's-
If you
I'm
see the MTD van driving for about 3 hours in the same
I'm not
roundabout,
sure
you
it's
know
difficult,
it's
right?
me.
It's just your driving skills.
I'll get the
How many
train.
halls?
So
5.
Okay. There's loads of other technology, so get yourself there. I'm going to quickly go through some ones we haven't possibly mentioned.
Yeah,
Things
please.
like, well,
I've got one, which
Oh.
we haven't... Sorry, I want to
Quickly,
just
go
add
in.
one in because we haven't even talked about this one before either. And that's the bench work of parts. So
Hand
deburring...
finishing.
Well,
hand
yes,
fitting.
but the machines to stop you having to hand finish.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't
Rumble
things to put your parts in.
We'll call them the rumble things from
Rumble
now on.
Rumble things.
Sounds like
Oh,
something-
what are they called?
Sounds
as you
like
see,
the
we've got
Flintstones.
some very technically skilled engineers here. The rumble things. Thank you very much
But
for that.
It's engineers talking to
Rumblers.
engineers. The
But
rumble
it-
things, you know exactly what it is. Rumblers.
But it's
Nice.
it
Wobblers.
just shows that Mac has everything
I used to use
from
filter.
start to finish of your part. You can
Guys,
find things for everything.
Yeah,
I am
stop
gonna-
using your Rizzler paper and use a wobbler. Sorry.
thank you very much. I am going to wrap it up there. A little oversight about Mac 2024. Some other technologies very quickly that we haven't even had a chance to cover off, but as important, as fun. So EDM, so you've got 3 types there. You've got your plastic injection molding. You've got grinding. You've got laser cutters, press brakes, logistics, additive manufacturing. Loads of stuff, really interesting stuff that we haven't covered off. And I know
Gosh,
I'm not going to
yeah.
get you... Oh,
We could be here for hours.
Absolutely, and people don't
Nobody
want
wants
that. So get yourselves essentially to Mac 2024, 15th, 19th of April. One final point from you, Rowan.
Machine transport. You said logistics, but specifically machine transport is
Okay.
very important.
Anything you've got? I've got to go and see that.
I think probably go check out all the knowledge hubs that have
Yeah.
been started by the MTA this year. It's really important to be looking at new tech and what's new in the industry. Even if you're just trying to get good parts out and run the machine shop, there is going to be something interesting there for you in the knowledge hubs.
Okay, Chloe.
Go on the website, have a look at the map, plan your route, speak to all the people. Do not be scared to ask people questions. No question is a silly question. And if it refers to you, there will be somebody there that has the answer.
Absolutely. Tom, final point from you.
Go with an open mind. You might go looking at one machine, but have a look round, have an open mind, because you might find a machine better suited.
There you go. So loads and loads of technology, guys. Thank you for engaging with me. So Mac 2024, 15th, 19th of April, NEC, off the M42. Get yourself there, have a look around, and hopefully find some new technology.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the MTDCNC podcast, sponsored by Langley Alloys, specialists in a wide range of exotic materials for any application for all your engineering needs.